Hey, so remember, I just told you all that we were going to be looking and focusing on the exploded moments. For the end of module task for this module, you all are writing an exploded moment. So, a just one moment in one person's life, and we are going to use all of those narrative techniques that we just learned about to write this amazing story. And I'm so excited. So today, let's look at the exploded moment that was inside of the knight's tale. And remember, this is the tale that the gray headed knight tells on the road to Canterbury, going to that St. Thomas shrine. But the tale is actually about the knights, Palamon and Arcite. And this is the part that is really exciting, the most exciting part of the story, where Palamon and Arcite are going to fight it out for Emily's love. And so let's look in and just zoom in on this one moment to figure out what did this author do to make this moment so explosive or so exciting and engaging. So let's read it. I'm starting right in the middle of the page where it says, "The joust was a circus of color. Knights caparisoned in mail, heraldic surcoats, and plumes fit for birds of paradise were braised by the blaring of trumpets, whose scarlet oriflammes were embroidered with silvery beasts. Blade by blade, the grass was turfed out in divots by the flying hoofs of horses. The pavilions flapped like Chinese kites. By midday, the ladies tripping back and forth to their seats had scarlet hems where their gowns were had swept the field. In the hottest part of the day, Arcite and Palamon found themselves at opposite ends of the jousting fence. Palamon's lance weighed heavy in the crook of his arm after so many months in prison. The squires blew a shrill fanfare. The horses rattled their bits between their teeth and pranced toward one another. On the first pass, both lances missed their mark, and the two cousins passed shoulder to shoulder, grimacing into one another's face. On the second pass, Palamon saw the point of Arcite's lance bearing squarely for his chest. He flung himself forward along his horse's neck, dropping his own lance, but the oncoming lance tip tore through the back of his tunic, caught in his belt, and lifted him out of the saddle, pitching him to the ground. Arcite's lance was dragged from his grip, but he turned at the head of the list and came galloping back down the field, swinging his mace. Its iron spikes bruised the air with each whistling circle that the mace head made on its chain stalk. Palamon, his head uncovered, fell to his knees, but he knew he could not escape the swinging iron. In the grass, his hands brushed the lance that it dragged him from his horse. His fingers closed round its haft, and he was lifting it to protect himself when Arcite, stretching from the saddle to strike the mortal blow, rose straight on to its point. His face cleared of all expression. His horse rolled from under him, and he stood for a moment with the lance planted in his chest. The mace dropped from his hand, and he spread his fingers across the red of his surcoat. "Cousin," he said, then fell dead on his back, the lance rising like a mast out of its hull. Palamon took off his gauntlets and crawled across the grass to Arcite's side. "Friend," he said, touching his cousin's cheek, "what have we done?" Then the crowds were upon him, praising, congratulating. Deuthexis was there, and Emily too, though Palamon could not recognize her at first among the other women. All right, so we're going to pause there. What did he think?